Hey guys, what's up? This is Nick from Beer and Bat Reps, and today we're going to be talking about the new epic plastic Treebeard model that came out of nowhere. I had no idea this was going to come out, and I'm very, very excited. I don't play Lord of the Rings too often, but I'm always looking for great Games Workshop sculpts and models to buy and paint and display, and to be honest, I have plans on using it in Sylvaneth. Noah has an epic Sylvaneth army, and he's already said like, wow, we should probably pick that up, so something to look forward to. Obviously, on the screen right now is the old metal model because I wanted to start with that so you could soak that in. It's not the greatest. It was cool at the time because it had the two hobbits riding on top. You know, it was just so much bigger than all the little Lord of the Rings miniatures that it still was epic at the time. There's good detail for lots of dry brushing skills, but this new one is incredible. It blows it out of the water. It came out of left field. I had no idea it was coming, so I just wanted to take a look. So we'll go over the new model, how it compares, how you could use it in your games, how you could use it even in Age of Sigmar. So let's take a look at the new model. Right off the bat, the first thing that stands out to me is they finally did his beard justice. Treebeard has an epic beard. It's long, it's gnarly, it wraps around. I can't wait to get a closer look, see if there's any critters in there peeking out or vines twisting through. I can already see one vine kind of coming down from his mustache, wrapping through it. It looks incredible. It has nice leaves along the edges. It's great plastic. You can tell it's similar in style to Sylvaneth, without so many of the elvish one-eyed owls that the Sylvaneth models have on them. And the Sylvaneth models also have lots of creepy crawly little insects swarming around them. This doesn't have any of that. This is just classic Treebeard. And I'm very, very excited about this model. And it appears that there are different loadouts you can do when you're assembling it. So you could magnetize, you could have it with the hobbits on or without. Yeah, hopefully, some of these pictures will go through it. I love these photos that they're taking through GW trees. These are the new Sylvaneth forests, you can tell. So why even make more trees? Just reuse the ones from Sylvaneth to show how well he blends in with them. Look at his gnarled giant fist in front of his beard. That is nasty. You can expect that to just sweep multiple orcs through the air like in the movies, or pick up rocks and throw them. And speaking of that, you can see in his other hand, he's clutching a giant boulder. This model's amazing. I can't wait to see how tall it is, how it stacks up with the other models in the range, and to see how it stacks up, to be honest, with Sylvaneth Treeman. I hate to keep bringing it back to that for all you Lord of the Rings fans, but when I'm looking at a new miniature, my whole brain is kind of focused on Warhammer, that I always want to find ways I can use it in both games. I don't know if you've seen, but I have a couple battle reports where I use the Balrog, the plastic Balrog from Lord of the Rings, as a Bloodthirster in Warhammer, because I think it looks 10 times better than what a Bloodthirster looks like. And the scene where the Balrog roars and the inside of its mouth looks like a jet engine is seared into my brain. And to me, that's one of the most iconic scenes in the history of film. And I just want that represented on my table as often as possible. So I use the Balrog as often as possible. I love that model. And I think this is going to be another classic. I'm going to be able to set him on my shelf next to the Balrog and next to the Elephant or Mumakil or whatever the names they have for the giant war mammoths. Yeah, this next one really shows him clearly next to the new Sylvaneth trees. It's hard to tell with depth perception if that's just the angle that makes him look as tall as those trees, or if he really is as tall as those trees. I'll be very, very interested in seeing just how massive he is. Now that we've seen models like Imperial Knights and Mega Gargants, I wonder how he'll stack up. If he'll be up to their shoulder, something like that, or if he'll be even taller. That would be pretty cool. I cannot wait to be able to equip this guy because, as you can tell from the last picture, the last one had both the hobbits on it and a giant boulder in his hand, and this one has neither hobbit and doesn't have the boulder. So there's going to be a couple ways you can equip him, and savvy hobbyists will magnetize it for different missions. I'll tell you the truth, I'm going to be leaving the hobbits off. I think they look just as good on the ground. They can walk along beside him in missions, and that way I'll be able to use them in other war games. These last couple pictures just show some nice, clear, full body shots with nothing in the background. So you'll be able to see exactly how much of the base his giant stance takes up, and just how massive the model is. I'd love to know the size of that base, if it's 120 millimeters, if it's 160 millimeters. It's definitely not 60 millimeters like a Dreadnought base. It's definitely bigger than that. Don't think it's quite the size of the Gargant base, so it's somewhere in between. Possibly the base that the Eidolon of Mathlon is on. I'm trying to think what size that is, maybe 120 millimeters. I can't wait to see him next to some models so we can see the size of him and go from there. And here we have the build with no rock and no hobbits. And now you can kind of clearly see the size of the base. So it may actually be a smaller base. It may be a 60 millimeter. He may just not take up much room on the ground, but just be vertical. Just very, very tall and lean, which makes sense. He's a tree. Personally, I'm going to build it exactly like this, but with that open hand with the boulder. I like the idea of no hobbits and a giant boulder. I think it looks great. I also think this guy would look really cool painted, pretty much just how he is, but in fall colors. So the leaves are orange and brown and red. I haven't seen anyone do that yet with Treebeard, so I think that would look really cool. I would love to hear how you guys plan on assembling and painting yours, so chime off in the comments exactly what your plan is. Are you planning on picking this up? Do you think it's a great model? Do you think the sculpt is really good like I do? Or do you think it's not different enough from the original metal one that I showed at the beginning of this video? If you enjoy content like this, feel free to hit like. That way it helps our algorithm and more people can see our videos. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Tune in for more news and battle reports of Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40K, and occasionally other games such as board games, Magic the Gathering, and maybe eventually Lord of the Rings if we get enough of them painted. This is Nick from Beer and Bat Reps. Cheers!